we have a minor success, actually a major success, regarding the line finder. Yesterday, Andrew and I were able to get this lowest bank working. There were a few more things that needed power, and now it's behaving quite nicely, which is awesome. And the cool part about getting that lower bank working is that lowest bank is what is used for the line finder exercise test, which I'll explain in a minute. So the one thing the lowest bank gets us is another 20 lines that we can now hook up. And because we know how to get the lowest bank working, we can then just reproduce those steps on all the other banks that aren't working, which is going to be pretty cool. So the exercise test is the thing I've been messing with tonight. And it is this frame, which I know you can't see too well because it's kind of dark. This frame is mostly a selector test frame, and it's 3 or 4 test frames in one. So it's district selector test, incoming selector test, and final selector test. And then way down here at the bottom is the line finder exercise circuit. Now the purpose of that circuit was so that in the morning when the day shift techs came in, before peak time, you can run this test on all the line finders, and it'll go through all of them endlessly and actually just exercise them. The idea was that by exercising them in the morning, you could locate any problems before peak hour and then correct them while you still had time. Now the way the exercise test works is you have a bunch of jacks here. You have a jack for the A group or the B group. So I'm going to take this wooden plug and put it in the A group because that's the one I want to exercise. And then you have a jack for each group of each line finder you have. Each line finder frame, I guess this is. So I have another plug that I'll insert. And that starts the test. So I'll walk over this way. And you can see that the senders are picking up and then releasing as all the line finders go up. And what this test is doing is it's continuously pretending to pick up phone lines. And the line it's picking up is the one that is in position number 19, which is the highest position in this bank. When it gets to 19, it finds that tip and ring are actually disconnected, and it does what it's supposed to do. The line finder will wipe out, which is, you see it returning down to normal. Now this test is going to keep picking up every line finder it can over and over again until I pull that plug out. If it stops, it means it encountered a problem. And then it's up to me to figure out what the problem is, why it actually stopped going. But it's running pretty well right now. I've been messing with it a little bit. It stopped a couple times. I think I figured out most of the problem. So let's just let it run and exercise. You can see the districts picking up and cycling through, which is normal behavior for when the line finder gives up and wipes out. If one of these sequence switches gets stuck and doesn't advance, the test will stop. And you'll come over here and see that one of them didn't advance, and then you have to figure out why. And finally, go to another dark place. Actually, the sender selectors are all mostly quiet right now because they've all landed on senders they like that are available. And there's not too much action over here at the moment. Yep, that one just moved. So what these are doing is each district line finder, because it's really one circuit, has its own sender selector. And on each sender selector, there are 22 possible senders that I could search for. So every time someone picks up the phone, that line finder district will go to its sender selector and ask it to pick an idle sender. If it's already sitting on an idle sender, it won't move. But like that one, if it's sitting on a sender that's in use, it'll rotate until it finds an idle sender. The thinking there is, why would you ask it to move if it's already sitting on a sender that it can use? And every once in a while, you'll hear it hunt for an idle sender, like that one just did. But because this test is happening so fast, the senders aren't actually in use for more than just a moment, which you can see indicated over here on these lights. This is what I'm looking at to show me what senders are in use. Back in the day, the real office would have had a lot more than 6 senders. And they were all located on this portion of the desk now, but since we only have these 6, this is the only part we're using. So, kind of cool if that works. Pretty stoked about that. I just thought I'd make a video and let you know.